welcome back to another episode of the Unofficial Tokucast. My name is Cheesymanfredo, aka Alfredo Morales, and with me here today is the usual band of misfits, band of ultra misfits. Yep, there they are. Kazoo.
I don't like that one.
We got we got Kazoo Chachu. There he is. King
Kazoo Gore.
and
From outer
King
space to kill people.
and King Protus.
Yeah.
That's a reference
Protus
to
came from outer space to kill people.
It's a reference to King Joe from Ultra 7. And
That's me.
And Spork Town Ultra Heroine.
Yeah.
There too. I couldn't think of anything clever.
Is that a My
Ultra,
Hero reference?
Good enough.
Ultra Heroine is pretty scary.
Ultra Heroine. Yeah.
That would be like a.
If someone offered you to Ultra Heroine, run.
You take it once and you fucking die, kid.
Right, exactly. And this was supposed to be a crossover episode with Main Character Syndrome, but I'm missing my co-host.
We killed him. We ate his bones.
It's fine. I'm still here, so this still counts as a Main Character Syndrome episode.
Are we really putting this on Main Character Syndrome?
How about don't fucking worry about it? How about I worry about which videos I put on my YouTube channel? How about I let me worry about it?
Yeah, don't worry about the video that you're in. Okay.
Let's not.
Cheesy this on us. Like a being from outer space come crashing down to Earth.
Okay. Oh my god, I'm about to fucking.
I shouldn't be laughing so much. They don't get the context for that.
Yeah.
Please do not let whoever that is into this.
No, he's cool. He's so cool.
No, don't let him in. Don't let him in.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something about this, right?
I'm gonna do something about him.
This is a great idea.
Cheesy. I'll give you some tips later. All right.
Okay. So today we're talking about
Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 thrice upon a time. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one.
We're talking about exactly. That's exactly what we're talking about. No, we're talking about the 2022
Evangelion, the 2022 piano film.
Shin Ultraman.
He copied the whole flow, his whole vibe from Ultraman.
He did. Mm-hmm. He copied a good amount of it. All right. Do you want to start out saying if we like this? What do we think?
Okay.
Initial thoughts?
Oh, I'll just say that I liked it. I really loved it.
I liked it. Yeah.
I too enjoyed it. As someone who his experience with Ultraman is just like a handful of episodes of the very original series, I felt like it was really good.
Okay. I'll say I was extremely disappointed in this movie, and I did not like it.
What?
Damn.
What?
Damn.
Why?
Shame.
Because I feel like this. Am I echoing for anybody else?
Nope.
No.
Okay. I feel like this movie is not as cool as any other Ultraman thing that I've seen, which is not much, but I did not like it as much as I expected to.
Damn.
It feels like a really good marathon of like 5 individual episodes. I think they flow well together.
I think they do too. Like, it's like episodic, but not in a way that like it feels like, and then they stop, and then they keep going, and they stop. It feels like everything kind of flows into one another.
Yeah,
I thought it felt kind of awkward. It did kind of have like a weird. I would say that for me it didn't really flow as nicely. It did just feel like I sat down and watched 5 episodes of Ultraman, which is not a bad thing. Because I've done that before, and it's fun.
Kind of, fun. Yeah. It does feel like that, but also it's like Ultraman that I would not choose to watch. Like, I was really disappointed. There's no cool like kung fu science team. There's no There's no like crazy future dumb bullshit.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. There wasn't really any Kung Fu Science Team in the original either.
Yeah,
really.
it's more of like the first like Showa era series
Yeah,
kind
maybe.
of stuff.
You've been
seen.
you've been poisoned by Inframan because they don't do that much Kung Fu.
No, they do that in
Ultra.
Ultra 7.
Mm,
They do.
do they? Are you sure? I seen
In
like half
Ultra
of it. I do
7?
not remember any.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of Ultra 7. It doesn't feel like they do
They
that
have like
much.
You probably think of something else, Spork.
they do the science team. They do.
There's a science
Don't
team,
they,
yeah,
like-
but they don't do a lot of Kung Fu. That's kind of
Yeah.
Inframan
Oh, yeah, okay,
injects
well,
more
they-
Kung Fu to it.
There are also like futuristic, like weird
Yeah,
science team though.
yeah.
It's like I've not seen much Ultraman, but like and I wanted this to be my first exposure to Ultraman really, but it just didn't happen. I was forced to watch some of Ultra 7.
They kind of like MCU-ified the science team. Like they did with the Thor, where like
What,
Thor
MCU?
movies they just give like Natalie Portman and Kat Dennings. They just make them like normal people that are like
And-
kind of quirky.
Instead of
No.
putting Kat Dennings as an Asgardian with like a low cut armor bra, they waste her in the background as a scientist, which is a shame.
No, it'd be like instead of making Kat Dennings like a weird like future cop or some shit. Like
I have no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about.
You do not know who
Yeah.
Kat Dennings is?
I do not.
She's one of
Look-
the titular two broke girls. Come on.
she
Spork,
is one of
look-
the two broke girls.
Spork, look her up and get ready to fall in love. She's pretty good for a white
Ready to
woman.
Fucking.
She actually is. She's quite attractive, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That being said,
I liked
That
the
means-
SSSP.
I thought
Kind of like the
Asami's, like,
older.
fun.
Wait, is she the fucking?
She's the black
is she
haired
the
one.
black girl from Victorious?
no, that's not
I
her.
watched
She looks kind of
Okay.
like.
Okay. I want to say it was kind of. I did watch the beginning of it with Spork and her server, and the funny and it was so funny like seeing this like reaction she had to the intro that like I heard other people had as well, where like because what Shin Ultraman does at the intro literally says Shin Godzilla, and then Spork
Yes.
said Spork said fuck, we put the wrong movie.
I was watching it with somebody too. I watched it like a second time with my partner, and they were like, "What the fuck?"
And then it switched to Shin Ultraman. And the thing is that I heard the first time I heard that the movie was going to do that was I was listening to Mega 64 and Rocco, for his pure Rocco power, he managed to get like tickets to an early screening at a film festival for it. And he was saying like, yeah, they did this weird thing at the intro where they said Shin Godzilla, and I thought like, oh, they put the wrong movie, but then it switched to Shin Ultraman. I'm like, why did they do that? And the reason why they did that, in case anyone doesn't know anything about Ultraman, is that I don't know if they still do that with the current show, but those like for the original Ultraman, the intro literally says Ultra Q, which was the name of the previous iteration of the show, and then it morphed into Ultraman. And in Ultra 7 they do that too, where it'll say Ultraman and then it morphs into Ultra 7.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Saying that this is like a continuation. And I mean also like saying that Shin Ultraman comes right after Shin Gojira, and there's like a lot of like little things like sure Jim called it like, oh, they MCU'd Ultraman, but like the whole like kind of like the way
I don't agree with that either.
the way they organized
MCU-ified his team.
the way they organized the team, the Science Patrol and Shin Ultraman was just kind of what all those kind of like task force that were created in Shin Gojira was. It was like a continuation of that.
Yes,
Which makes me wonder. I don't really want to talk too much about this, but when Shin Kamen Rider comes out, I wonder what direction they're going to take the task force in, because like
God.
I think oh god, I said this like right after I was done watching the movie, because I was talking with a lot of people that had no idea about this, and I was like, oh man, I hope they do like the evil version of the task force with Shin Kamen Rider, because then it's like because that would work, because Kamen Rider is all about a guy who's by himself fighting a whole organization.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, that's the reverse.
I expect they won't do that in Shin Kamen Rider.
Maybe, but back to Shin Ultraman.
Yeah, wait, there's some kind of groundwork that I want to lay before we talk about the movie. So we're talking about Anno. It's like it's done by Anno. Kind of, not really. Like it's not 100% done by Anno. He wrote the story, but he didn't direct it. It was actually directed by Shinji Higuchi, who looking at his work, I've actually seen quite a few of his movies. He did what's it called? He did, I think, the first of the 90s Gamera films.
It seems like he's done all 1, 2, and 3 of them.
Yeah, so I believe it's a SFX director. So he didn't have as much experience directing those, but there's like a 90s Gamera trilogy, really fantastic. Those are really great.
Top tier.
Yeah.
What year is that? Is that the?
I think it was
late mid 90s.
Oh, was it mid 90s? I thought I was gonna say late.
That's what it says on the docket, baby.
Okay,
I was trying to remember like what because you know how like people call Heisei. It's the Heisei. There's a really great Heisei movies. But yeah, this guy has like a long history working with Gainax. And recently he directed the 2 Attack on Titan live action movies, which I actually just watched for my podcast. And it's really fucking fun.
10 out of 10.
They're really bad. Oh yeah, 10 out of something. But it's really funny in hindsight. I didn't know that until I looked at it just now. Because those movies are kind of ass, but they're also like kind of funny. And they have pretty good effects. I can't lie. Like the effects do look good. There was that famous like SUV commercial that they had where like the Colossal Titan was picking up like a Hyundai or something. That I think it was like kind of like a test filming for the movie. Yeah, they're funny to look at.
Do you think they're ever going to make like a good live action adaptation of an anime over there? I can't think of like one that anybody.
Old Boy's the only one. It's technically not an anime.
Yeah, it's a manga and technically not Japanese. It's Korean.
Yeah. See, there's like movies, 3 layers to that.
Yeah, Protus. Maybe stop
the
Asian.
manga was Japanese though.
Can you hashtag stop Asian hate right now, please, Jim?
You're not the one to say that, Cheesy.
He loves Asian hate. This guy.
He hates all Asians.
Cheesy hates Japanese people. He'll remind you if you're ever in a car.
Oh my god!
That's why.
See, that's why I was
Tokusatsu thing even happened.
That's why I was rooting for the kaijus. When the kaijus wreck like Japanese villages, I'm like, yes, get them all. Yes,
get into it.
Squish them.
Yeah,
squish 'em.
Anyway, it's good. I like it. How do you guys I like the intro. Oh fuck, I remember months ago.
Okay,
I remember months ago.
The first half of this movie, I'll say.
I really like the intro where it was all just like a reference to like Ultra Q monsters. And another thing about
that was fun.
I like them.
Yeah, another thing about the connective tissue between, because this is like a sequel to Shin Gojira, but not really. It's more, I don't even know if I want to call it a spiritual sequel. It's more like
I would say so.
Something being like a franchise sequel, but not like not connected directly story wise, you know.
I'd say it's a spiritual sequel. Like the way it's shot in the beginning is very Shin Gojira, which is like
yeah, they do all that text.
Yeah, the realistic sort of like camera pans, like war documentary footage kind of, or like ground level footage of the monsters showing up. And that's the part I really liked. I thought that was very cool. It's really cool to see them be like, really okay, quick. This one's kind of like this other monster that showed up. It uses electricity. Maybe it's sort of like eating the electricity. Maybe it can fire like a big laser. Maybe so. Gotta watch out for that.
I love the whole comment that like, oh, it has like the same body as the previous one, and even later,
yes, I love that too.
Even later, they drop like little hints that like, oh, these kaijus might have been like, not man-made, but created by something. Like something created them and put them into the earth.
That's a really weird line. We'll talk about later, I guess. That was kind of confusing for me.
It's also kind of like, it feels like a meta joke too, because in my mind, all I could think about was like reusing the same like toy design, like just using the same body and then just changing the head out and selling it to a kid.
Yeah, that's
the Subaya.
That's what they did with the suits, basically. That's why the first kaiju we see is literally a reused Shin Gojira suit.
Yeah, it's literally Gomez. Yeah,
Gomez.
Literally Gomez.
Which also one the one thing I love about the original Ultraman, and there's a lot of like really great compilations of like the most brutal Ultraman kills from the original series.
It's awesome, bro.
There's one episode where they literally just use the Gojira suit and they put like a stupid flower around his neck, like a giant
G-Ras. Yeah, that's the name of that one.
And he like rips it off. When Ultraman rips it off, it is like just bleeding all around where the flower was. It's so fucking funny.
So what I was looking for this movie when I was going in, I was looking for like cool, scary, like Shin Gojira-esque kaiju. And also like people were like hyping this movie up, saying it would be like really fucking violent, and it's not.
Oh, really?
And I was like,
wait, who said that?
I think
a lot of people said that because Ultraman's really violent in this movie, or people say that Ultraman's like, oh, Ultraman's really violent and blood and shit, and not really in this.
I would say that Shin Godzilla is trying to like make you fear the monsters more, because I mean that's the of the original Gojira film, is the terror involved in it.
I think
Ultraman is like, oh, we got this guy. He's gonna kick some fucking ass.
Well, all the monsters in this look very good, and they look very they look really cool in their own ways, each individually.
I really like that they and I think I've only ever seen this. I've seen this done before in the anime SSS Gridman, where all the kaijus in that anime are CGI'd, but they did that just so they can mimic suit actors kaijus, right? And they basically kind of do that like in this one, only they slap on the fucking realism filter over it, I guess, right?
Ultraman looks really fucking good in this.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The lighting hits him so well.
Yeah. All that stuff is good. I don't really have any complaints with the visual aspect of the movie.
One thing I will complain about is it felt like almost like an Ava fan film in the way where it was like trying so hard to do like the weird camera angle thing that it got like annoying. Because like in Shin Godzilla, like that's actually directed by Anno, and like there are some funny little shots where like the camera is like focused on a phone and then the phone rings, and then as someone grabs it, like the phone like receiver is being tracked by the camera, and that's funny when you see it every once in a while. But like,
I'm glad you picked up on
time that the fucking like science squad are talking, it's just like, all right,
it does like swoops. It does like anime-esque like swoops to follow them. It's like, this is not how you shoot something in live action. Like a motion.
If you really like were trying to make the scene look more interesting, then you should have just like nixed dialogue. Like you cut the scene shorter.
You reminded me, there is one aspect of that. There's one scene where and Shin Gojira does this in a really excellent way that you never notice until you like see somebody tell you. But there's a really bad scene in this where all the people are like green screened onto like an environment, and it looks hideous and it looks really obvious and bad. It's when they're in like a big tunnel or something.
Oh, they're in the quarry you're talking about?
Not in the quarry. It's like a big underground tunnel.
Oh yeah, no, I know what scene you're talking about. Yeah,
the lighting on them. It's some people in the call that I was watching it with didn't quite see it, but I could definitely tell that was like a green screen background shot, and it was just like, why? Like, why?
I really like some of the frames they do choose though. Like there was this one where what's her face, Funaberi, I think, was like using a remote, and it was just like towards the camera, and I was thinking that's such like a fun, stupid, like anime way of framing that. If like a live action director was like shooting this, it would be like pulled out more, and like her hand and the remote would be probably at like a diagonal or something. But no, it's just this stupid. They love face shots in this movie. It's really it's silly, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. I think what was I gonna say? I was mentioned earlier how I've always like thought of Godzilla, and this is not really just a me thought. I think a billion people have thought of this. Godzilla was like the start. He is the grandfather of like the toku genre, right? And if you were to follow like the lineage as like toku as like entertainment for people, you start off with like the Godzilla movies, and then this thing kind of happened where kids weren't bored of like kaiju movies, but they would not pay attention unless the kaijus were on screen, right? So if there was like any human scenes, they'd just be running around the theater, not giving a shit, right? Until like
Kind of how I felt with
Godzilla
this
showed.
movie.
Right, exactly. You're kind of like a child spork. And, so anyway, this kind of like big brain move happened where it's like, oh, okay, then the logical step would be to have
Just make them TV size.
yeah, exactly. Have it in a shorter format. Have it like yeah, exactly. And the next logical step was to make a TV show, and that's where Ultraman comes in. You know,
And honestly, the SSSP, they're way more engaging than like most Godzilla humans.
oh yeah, they're
Like-
they're
Yeah, for sure.
tied directly to like what's going on with like Ultraman. Like they're like solving mysteries. And then
Yeah.
it turns out the answer to every mystery is that it was a kaiju. It was a
I
kaiju
kinda
that did it.
wish. Yeah, that really works in the beginning. Whenever each kaiju is like a monster that shows up, but then
Mhm.
very quickly we see a villain, sentient,
The
sapient
alien.
Yeah.
guy shows up,
Yeah.
and he's doing fuck shit. And then
I
when that happens,
fucking love
it's-
Zarab.
It sort
He's
of
fun.
like breaks apart for me because the science team is kind of not needed at all, really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like, what can they do against like this guy who can just be anywhere
Yeah, like
and like do anything? They're a little bit out of their range with Zarab and then Mephilius.
Yeah.
I did like the part where that one guy like had an existential like crisis of like his own abilities and kind of just says, "Oh, humans can't do anything. I might as well give up."
yeah, I like that part.
I
'Cause
feel
they're about
like
to be fucking their whole solar system is about to be nuked.
if there was kind of like a complaint, I really don't have that much complaints about the movie. And oh, by the way, there's Julian. Now this is an official
There he is.
main character
He
syndrome.
he drilled out of his little hole.
Yep.
Now he's spewing radiation everywhere.
Zarab teleported him here.
But one thing that I thought the ending could have used more was they say this that like, oh, a lot of us online figured out like the math to stop Zeton from wiping out the solar system.
Yeah,
I wish-
pretty
I wish-
nonsense.
I wish we would have seen that. Like I wish it would have been like shots of people all over the planet like typing
Yeah,
in computers
they
or
should
something.
have
Like,
a
some,
Digimon
like-
moment. They needed to do
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
fucking what's his face. You show like people using
Yeah.
computers in Holland and Africa and be like, we're solving this
Yeah,
together,
it's
guys.
just like he goes in. He puts on a PSVR and like goes into the web.
Yes.
yeah,
like-
that
I-
fucking dweeb.
I think what would have
I
been
hated that guy.
I think what would have been cool is if at the start of the movie, once Ultraman shows up, we could have seen the reaction of everyone around the world to Ultraman and being like, oh, what the fuck is that? That's cool, right? And then you have that at the start. Well, we get the reaction of people like in Japan and like Japanese TikTok.
It's a very condensed movie. You don't see much of the outside world beyond
But-
occasional glimpses of screens.
But what I'm saying is that like you have that at the start where we do see the reaction around the world to like Ultraman and Kaiju's, and then at the end, those same people that were reacting are the ones helping. Like they're putting the effort as this kind of like humanity banding together to make sure we don't get wiped out kind of moment. And I feel like that could have expressed the ending a lot better. I think I think the ending is kind of like where it's like the weakest, to be honest.
The later half of this movie is extremely rushed. From the point where we get giant woman upskirt to the end, I feel is extremely
No, I fucking
rushed.
love.
That's
love that stupid,
that happened in the show. That happened in the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's stupid
It's a
assumption,
reference
yeah.
work. That means it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm
I
saying
love
the
that
movie is
character.
rushed. I don't really care that happened. I thought it was dumb and a waste of time, but whatever.
I love
was
that
funny.
character. She's so fun.
The
She's so
character's fine.
silly.
Was it? She
But
says like
okay.
what's the English word she keeps saying? She says like buddy or friend or something.
Yeah, buddy.
Buddy, yeah.
Buddy.
You'll be my ultra
Yeah.
buddy.
He's like,
So there's like in the beginning of this movie, we got like the team. Like the first half of this movie, they're like, all right, we investigate, we try and figure out what the fuck kaiju do so we can kill them using military power.
Uh-huh.
Which I love.
Ultraman shows up.
It's-
yeah.
Ultraman shows up, either takes the body of a guy or kills the guy accidentally and
Yeah, that
freezes them.
That happens in the show too.
Yeah.
And from that point on, one of the guys is very obviously Ultraman, and it's like, okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
the Shinji.
Shinji.
character.
It's not trying to hide
Kaminaga.
anything. And every time they show up, he runs off like Danny Phantom and turns into Ultraman secretly, and they can't figure it out
One thing
later. But
He's also acting on
one
like
thing I liked about
observations
that-
made by the science team, so they're not completely irrelevant.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I like. I like that he sticks around long enough to hear like what the weakness is, and then he like sneaks away and he's like, "All right, I know that this guy can't do electricity or whatever."
I love that, like, for like the first two monsters, he's just kind of like slinking off, and like it's just like it's treated like a casual thing. Like he has this government job where he just doesn't show up half the time. They need him.
yeah, it's very silly, which is like whatever.
Like real government
I love
jobs.
that a lot more.
Yeah.
Then we get a villain from space shows up, going to trick the
Zara.
Earth's government.
The best character.
Zara, I fucking love Zara.
He's here to
Zerub is great with his little fucking.
The top hat. When he
His
showed
little,
up with
no,
the top
he
hat,
has
I
like his
almost
little
cheered.
like his little deep throat gimmick where he's like, "Let me give you a hint."
He looks really stupid and weird, and you don't really see all of his body whenever he first appears. And then, but later on, you see him like stand up fully, and he's pretty scary looking because he's like
He's like a.
he's like the
paper
front of a
schman.
person like hollowed out from the back.
Yeah.
I think what I liked about
Crazy.
this interpretation of Ultraman is that they don't directly make reference that he's from outer space. Like it's very more like it could be that he's interdimensional in a way, that he's not from our dimension, you know? And that kind of explains why like his physics or the way he moves is not like a creature from our reality, you know?
Yo, I love how much they try to like do it like how it was in like the show era. When you knock Ultraman back, it's like you're flipping around the model. It's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah,
That's
to see
Oh
really
my god,
cool.
yeah.
when he does that
That's like-
fucking spin, that's so awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. But he does that even if you like hit him in space.
It's combining like
which
the
is just-
silliness and it also like the kind of like scariness of seeing like a fucking giant man doing these crazy maneuvers that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
And it's really cool and fun. Okay, and then my problem with the movie
Zarab
comes
oh,
after
wait,
like Zerab. So Zerab has like tricked people into believing Ultraman is evil by like pretending just like he can use holograms, and he just made people think that he was him. Real, and also kidnapped the real Ultraman and hid him somewhere so he couldn't transform. But he transforms, kills him, whatever.
He's trying to sell he's trying to like convince other countries and shit.
Yeah, he's trying to be like, Ultraman's not your guy. I'm your boy. Ultraman's not your boy. I'm your boy. But he was
Very
not.
hilarious how easy
he
it
was not
is
their
to just
boy.
like almost destroy the whole world by just like going to like America and being like, all right, gonna make a contract with you guys.
Okay, and
Make
then
us sick.
and this is where it falls apart with me because it happens again. The same
No,
thing
we-
happens immediately.
We didn't talk about the best part when he fights Zarab.
Sure.
It's the whole movie. I was waiting for it. One of like the best Ultraman moves is he does like a
Destructive
little
disc.
like
Yeah.
like he does like a slash, and the way that it just immediately kills Zarab is fucking hilarious. It just splits him in half and he's dead.
Yeah,
Like,
it-
Yep.
It's like a big
He's
fight where there's a
particles.
lot of collateral damage, and then Ultraman's like, "All right, I'm gonna stop playing." Shoots a destructor disc at him and slices him in half instantly.
like,
It's like, why did you
do
not
this
start
before?
with that?
It's the best move. It works every
He
time.
thought the earlier punches might have worked.
Yeah,
Like, well, like there's probably I could probably bitch and moan about like, oh well, clearly the reason why he didn't use the destructo disc was because there were buildings around, and
no, he's
but,
fucking up all the buildings.
yeah, he was
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
up those buildings. No, you're right.
They really Man of Steel.
I who here saw the movie in theaters? Because I did.
I did.
I did not.
There was this.
Did somebody do the "you didn't save anyone" or whatever the fuck that meme is from Ultraman?
No.
Aliens
That
dead.
picture. Have you never seen that one where somebody's
Yeah, I seen that.
Ultraman?
Yeah, yeah.
That was
Didn't
from
save anyone.
People.
That's from one of the later
people
Ultraman.
It's like, what did you
That's what I
say?
People like
I didn't
edited.
save a single thing.
Yeah.
People edit like Man of Steel, Superman, and like Obama.
But for those who saw it like in theaters when it was like it was just in theaters for one day, The intro of
it was.
the intro of the movie had an interview with the lead actor and the director, and the director mentioned a couple of things that I thought was interesting. First was that he said that like when the movie came out in Japan, he was in the seats with people like who were gonna just watch it for the first time. And the thing about like the Japanese when they watch movies is that like they're extremely polite and they do not react to anything, right?
Yeah.
So he couldn't tell if people thought like are they enjoying themselves, like this scene was supposed to be funny, they didn't laugh, like, you know. But then he saw it with a group of Americans, and he was so he like sighed of relief when the first like minute of the movie they were laughing at the jokes, and he's like, oh thank God. he thought
It helps that that American nerds are some of the least like
Yes.
don't know how to shut up.
yeah, like we
You know?
like when Optimus Prime comes on screen and he does his little speech, like dude, I clap, dude, I stand up.
I get
I was like, yeah, dude, fuck up the Decepticons. They're taking our freedom. I say.
That's why I go to the movies. Like I don't go to the movies
that's
to be in
the
a
only
quiet
reason you go to
box.
see a Marvel movie. Because like
Exactly.
Marvel movies
When-
are great in theaters.
When MODOK said that he's not a dick, I stood up and clapped. I'm like, yeah, MODOK, you tell him. You tell him.
It's actually funny because the audience for the Ant-Man movie that I just saw was packed and there was like no laughter. Like people did not like the humor in that one.
I saw that movie like high, and the whole time I was thinking like, 'cause being high kind of makes movies a little bit more funner and fun. They make bad movies like way funnier, but like Quantum Mania, the whole time I was thinking like, damn, when is this over? Why is this so long?
Okay,
Give it-
back to Ultraman.
All right, back to Ultraman.
Okay, so after this, Earth gets bamboozled twice instantly by
They get
another
bamboozled.
alien. who
Okay,
comes
let's
to
be
Earth.
fair. They get bamboozled a different way. It's not the same.
Okay,
That guy, he's
It's
different.
almost
He
the
likes
same way.
he likes parables. It's different.
Dude, I
do
fucking
like
love
this guy, and I like this guy, and I'm like, for me, I kind of wish Zarab or whatever was not even there because I feel like this guy
Oh, fuck
is a
you.
much better villain. And
I
but
think,
it's like you do
But
the
Zarab
same-
has like a trench coat on.
I think what should have happened. Yeah. I think what should have happened was Menphilus should have like showed up and be like, thanks to me and Ultraman, we took down Zarab. And then it's like
Okay, maybe.
that's how he could have wormed his way there. But I fucking love
Can't remove
Menphilus.
Zarab because Zarab has the best scene in the movie where he comes into their HQ, deletes all their files, and then undeletes all their files.
That's
funny.
awesome.
I'm just
I also like how Zarab went through the extra trouble to keep Ultraman locked away, but he doesn't do a very good job of hiding him.
He's just in a warehouse.
He's just in he's in a parking garage.
Yeah.
because this movie's pretty short. It's not a long movie,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the Mephiles part is pretty rushed. I feel, and I feel like
It's
he's
like-
just
do you
a
think
better
so?
villain all around.
I think it's like an hour 45, hour 50.
Yeah,
It's not
it's not long.
too short.
Well, it's not long though, but it's like
Mm.
Mephiles does not get enough time because he's like the kind of villain that's like, oh, does he have a point?
We're not
It
so
would-
different.
Some of the movies trying to, it's like, oh, does he have a
He-
point?
He really steals the show, I think, when Menphilus shows up.
Yeah,
The
he's
playground scene, I really, really like the
I
playground.
fucking love the whole
It's like
one in Rome. Another one of my favorite Earth sayings. I just
Yeah.
love when he just says that.
He's
Oh,
got
yeah, I
a big
forgot about
Earth
that.
fanboy, but he wants to like collect Earth and like own it.
No, his plan is that so Earthlings are like now like kind of discovering they're discovering the kaijus, and the kaijus were put into place by some unknown named figure. We never find out who, and that is they're aware that that's kind of like the stepping stones to eventually Earth's like discovering the technology that makes people huge, which will be like the stepping stones to making like humans into like weapons or something like something very
Yeah.
valuable to like
So-
interdimensional beings, right?
So yeah, humans are apparently, I don't know if it's explicitly said, but it seems to be implied that humans are very receptive to whatever like shit turns Ultraman giant, and you can basically
Yeah.
turn any human giant and turn them into like a super weapon.
Mhm.
as demonstrated.
So there's a lot of fucking humans, which means a lot of super weapons, which is a problem.
Yeah.
And this guy,
I don't know.
Sorry, go.
Giant women. You know,
One of my
Giant
favorite
women
things
slash
about
that was very cool.
when Mephiles first shows up is that he's like, I don't like violence, but I do appreciate that Earth was able to, give that guy the what for. He doesn't phrase it like that. Just can't remember what he actually said.
Yeah, and the thing is with Mephiles is like he doesn't really give Earth a choice to follow him. He's offering like weapons of mass destruction, and basically you're gonna take it or you're not, and he's just gonna fucking own you anyway.
Well,
And it's
the plan was that if Japan doesn't buy them, I mean, he's just gonna sell to another country, and Americans would have like been like, oh yeah, give me that shit.
Yeah, because kaiju always show up in Japan only, as was said earlier.
America would have like a really good MK Ultraman program.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you that much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a reference there for the.
Do you think it's a stretch to say that like, oh, turning humans giant into a weapon is just a reference to Attack on Titan?
No.
Yes.
No. Fuck you. Fuck you, dude.
Yes, it is a stretch.
I'm just saying.
Fuck you.
Saying, isn't that what fucking happens in Attack on Titan?
Isn't that what happens in Ultraman?
No. In Ultraman, that's not what fucking happened. In Ultraman, sometimes a mummy will show up and be like, I'm mind controlling people. And then they're like, hey, stop doing that. Then he turns huge. And then Ultraman shows up. That's what fucking happens in Ultraman.
Anyway, so Mephiles is a cool villain. He looks really fucking cool in his alien form.
His design is so good. I love all the kaijus. All they look so good in this movie.
Yeah. Like, and but like he doesn't get a lot of time. He's basically like, all right, Ultraman, I know you're Ultraman. We're gonna talk. Please don't fuck with me while I own this planet and sell humans as slaves. Come on. And Ultraman's like, no,
I'm Mephiles, I'm cool, I'm self-aware.
I really love when Mephiles is kind of like, if what does he say? He says, if you gotta do something right, you gotta do it yourself. One of my least favorite Earth sayings. That's like his last line.
Because he's a big fan of humans. He studied Earth. He
also
these sayings.
Them eating like ramen together is also a good like reference to and it's a good thing you brought up this picture, Jim, because I think the alien on the left, the red one, is the one who actually started this like tradition of like sometimes some of the kaijus are sentient enough you could have dinner with them and they'll explain to you their evil plan. And it's just
I love this table flipping motherfucker. He's so awesome.
That's really cool. I like that. And then so during the ceremony where Mephiles is gonna, what is it called? The beta something? What's it called?
The beta box? Beta capsule.
Beta capsule is what Ultraman uses.
He's gonna give the beta capsule to Japan. Ultraman's like, nah, mistake.
Yoink.
And he yoinks it, and
I love that scene. It felt like a fucking meme or something.
Yoinks
just appearing out of nowhere.
He's like, all right, I guess we gotta fight. And they don't really fight for that long, and it's not very cool of a fight. Like, Mephiles is really cool. But it just amounts to Mephiles is really strong. They both do their lasers at each other. Ultraman's losing power and he's gonna fucking die. But then
they kind of just put their hands to their sides after the fact. They're like, what now?
Yeah, and then but Mephiles over his shoulder, another Ultraman is like watching. He's like, oh, what's going on over here? And then Mephiles is like, all right, fuck it, never mind. I'm out.
That's basically like when the FBI shows up and the drug dealer is like, oh, game over.
Yeah,
imagine if the drug dealer said, I should leave before things get unpleasant. Like, oh,
I think because if I were to see it, it's kind of like, it's kind of like the humans potentially becoming giant is basically like discovering oil for interdimensional creatures, right? And so the smaller ones, which are who impose their will through like kind of authoritarian means, are the first ones to kind of try to lap it up. But then here comes like the higher power, like the interdimensional creature, the Ultramen, who are like way above, like several levels up above, see this going down. They're kind of like, nah, we gotta shut this down because we can't have any more of you scrimblows running around.
Planet of Light, which is where Ultramen come from, want to destroy Earth to eradicate all humanity because they're too potentially dangerous. And so he sees like another one. I guess he was like, one of y'all, all right, maybe I can handle it. Two, all right, I'm out. He's like, two, okay, I see you guys have the attention.
I think also
Planet of
Memphilis
Light,
knows
so
that
I'm just
this
not
Ultraman
involved.
is acting like, compared to other Ultraman, this one's acting kind of irrationally, you know? Like,
Yeah.
he's caring about
This one's
humans, which
getting
is
too
it,
human.
He's
right.
Yeah.
He's getting human pilled. Then he's all like, okay, maybe this one I could potentially like stand a chance again because clearly he's too human pilled. But this other Zafi comes in and Zafi's just too Ultraman ish. So he's like, nah, never mind. I can't. There's no way I can
A
like
real
talk
nigga
to this
shows
guy.
up and he's like, I'm out.
Mephiles in
Right,
that moment
exactly.
was like the casual Naruto watcher when they see a like actual weeaboo walk into the room.
Never mind. So me when I see an actual weeaboo come into the room.
Anyway, yeah, so he just leaves. And then after this, I don't care about anything that happens after this because it's not very cool after that. Zophie, which is pronounced Zophie, sets up Zeton, which is a fucking solar system nuking mecha that's fucking giant in the orbit of Earth, and it's going to kill everybody.
An excellent visual when it's like starting up all the tendrils and stuff.
It's a really cool looking. It's really cool. It's kind of cool. I don't really like the design of it completely, but like whenever you don't see all of it, it's very imposing and cool and alien looking. And it like unfolds in like an impossible way, which is cool. And it's got big glowing boobies.
If this movie came out before Nope, I would accuse the Nope director of ripping it off.
Wait,
he kind of looks like a PS1 cut. He looks like a Zone of Enders cutscene.
It looks like Zone of Enders.
Jean Jacket is like inspired by the angels from Ava, so it almost comes full circle.
I don't think I know what you mean, but I wouldn't say that.
Well, the second form of Jean Jacket.
No, I mean like what Julian. I don't think they're not that similar, but
here's the original Zeton design.
Okay, it still has the giant boobies. Cool.
I mean, I'm not an anti-giant booby guy, as you all know.
And,
they are like heaving. Those are heaving, bro.
It is filled with milk, bro.
So basically, this whole time, okay, after Mephiles, the science team had a little bit they could do. They're like, okay, maybe we can trick Zeton, steal his shit, and then you'd fuck him up, which is what they do. And then after this, they're like, okay, well, we're just going to release the information that this shit's going to destroy the whole planet to everybody. Oh wait, no. Did they say no? They say we don't do it, right? Wait, I don't.
Honestly speaking, if that were me, I'd be like, "Hey, world's ending. Nobody work for the next day.
They say
have fun.
we will not release the information."
Typical Japanese. They'll make you work till like they'll know the world is gonna end.
The end of the universe. Get back to your fucking wage cage. You fucking.
There was also that
creeps.
part where the Japanese government was like, "Okay, we're taking control of Ultraman. You got rid of our special weapon, and now there's a giant nuke in the sky. The UK is breathing down our necks, and this department, we don't need it anymore. Fuck you."
Yeah,
I like that Shinji's just like, "Oh, what if I kill you guys? Oh, pussy. What if I just kill you?"
Running through the whole movie is this science team is like butting heads with the international people who have to deal with the international climate. And people who don't like that Japan is getting all this scrutiny from aliens and shit. But I don't feel like it's as good as it is in Shin Godzilla. And I kind of feel like it's not really that important, really, at all in this movie.
I think there's a lot of, they could have like, cause I was thinking there could have been like a whole thing where like, oh, let's not tell people the end of the world's going to happen. But what I would imagine would happen, and I guess in a more American movie, it would be that it leaks out, and then people start panicking. People start like religious, like chanting and looking up in the sky, like, "Oh, there's our destroyer. We're all fucked," right? And it could be this whole like, ultimate like nihilism, and Ultraman has to come in as the ultimate symbol of
as
hope.
the hope, the Christ-like figure,
right?
Like,
And
what
in the
does
sky.
happen? Yeah.
I think what kind of bothers me about the ending is that it tells us that's what happens, and it's like, that's cool, but I kind of wish I would have saw it.
They should have gotten on Mamoru Hosoda to like consult. He would have put all of that stuff in the movie.
Yeah, we were saying that earlier. I don't know if you were in here.
That's
for
when I
that.
just
We could
arrived.
add a Digimon.
Yeah,
we could add a Digimon
the
movie
last minute.
4 or something, or 5.
Yeah.
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 The 6th Digimon.
That being said,
The Digimon movie.
That being said, I still really like the movie. It's not better than
I
Shin
had a lot of fun
Gojira,
with it.
but I thought it was worth it. I'm gonna rewatch it. I feel like I'm gonna enjoy it even more the second time. Before this
I would like to rewatch it.
podcast started, I was watching a video that recapped it just to like jog my memory, and they were talking about like there's like 10 million references in every part of the movie that
Oh yeah,
that are so specific. Like, oh, Zafi being evil is a reference to a children's like Ultraman manual that has a misprint where they say that Zafi is the guy behind all the kaijus.
Right.
And
okay. Yeah.
You know what I
That's
wanted to watch before we recorded, but I didn't get the time to. I wanted to see his student film to see if his student film that was like it debuted at like Daikon 4 or
I
Yeah,
bet
It's pretty
I will
fun.
like that.
I watched it before.
I bet I bet there's references to that.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh, probably.
I like.
My favorite reference was Cube from Madoka
Cube is
Magica.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I was confused by that
Yeah,
because
we
I was
caught
like,
that.
Kara doesn't have anything to do with Madoka Magica, does it? I
No.
don't think it does.
Not at all. Nope. It's
it's just
very-
there.
They reference one anime in every one of these movies. Last time they referenced like Ava and
Just like how
Shin
Marvel
Gojira.
doesn't have anything to do with Doritos or Cheetos.
What?
What's it in She-Hulk? He's eating Cheetos. I don't. Never mind.
I don't fucking watch Shield.
And
I would
first
not
episode of
equate
She-Hulk,
QB
Bruce
to
Banner is
Cheetos.
eating like Cheetos with chopsticks.
Because he's so because he's so huge, his fingers are gonna rip the
no,
bag.
he's
No. This is the smart way to eat Cheetos.
It is.
You don't
the
get
smart
any of the
way,
dust
and
on
that's
your
what
fingers.
they say. Yes.
If
They're
he
like,
gets
"Oh, yeah,
Cheetos on
that's
his
a virgin
fingers,
way.
that's how he loses control.
I
yeah, he
I think licking your fingers after eating the Cheetos is the little bonus, is the little
No,
special.
but
little-
Yeah.
you don't understand. It doesn't.
It's
It
what
doesn't
connects
get it
us with-
off. It doesn't get it off.
Even our Neanderthal ancestors.
yeah.
Even soap doesn't get red hot Cheeto dust off your fucking
Soap.
fingers.
So who cares?
Soap doesn't work.
Let the world know that. Let the world know
Why do you
that.
want Cheeto finger? Why do you want Cheeto?
Let the
finger?
world
Like,
know that
cheesy
2 days
finger.
ago I was enjoying a delicious bag of Cheetos.
It's a simple
the world
way
know.
like, to suck the fucking powder off your finger, but
Hmm.
yeah, I like when Ultraman goes up into space trying to fight Zeton. It looks like a shmup,
Hmm.
and he just gets fucking blasted.
That part was so fun.
Yeah.
I
It's
love the
spun
way
around.
He just gets
Yeah.
utterly destroyed.
Apparently, all those movements of him in space are lifted directly from some sort of animated short from years ago where he is fighting Zeton in space.
Yeah,
Oh, the lighting in space is gorgeous when he's
Mhm.
firing his beam attacks, and you get to see it. Ooh,
yeah. So basically,
they make him look so good in this.
basically
movie.
what happens is, who is it that gives them the data on the beta capsule? Is it Mephiles or is it somebody else?
Ultraman gives it to
Well,
them because he's basically like,
Oh yeah, Ultraman.
I don't
is fine.
have all the cards, but you guys, you're super smart. You'll figure this out,
Yeah.
even if I fuck it
So
up.
Ultraman gives them like raw data on how to make a beta capsule, which is completely useless, but they go into the PSVR headspace and off screen, all of humanity works together to figure out how to destroy Zeton, which amounts to basically send Ultraman up and within like we'll activate the shit within like 0.3 seconds. Ultraman can hit
Yeah.
Zeton hard enough to destroy him.
Frame perfect.
Yeah.
He had to do a frame
So-
perfect.
It literally was frame perfect. They spent too long with him looking in Asami's eyes for it's like we got 30 seconds and he spends like 20 of them. He spends 20 of them just like looking sad.
Yeah,
He only needs 1 second to go from the ground to space.
The final
nice,
countdown.
yeah.
The final countdown is 10 seconds, and he spends an alarming amount of it fucking around on the bot on like in human form,
Yeah.
just on the ground. It's like, dog, you need to get up there.
It's all about getting that frame perfect. If Zeton saw you too
Yeah.
early, it would have been
I
game
guess,
over.
Maybe it would have been.
He was romance canceling. He was romance
Yeah.
canceling.
You can fly from
Romance
Earth to
kiss.
space in like 2 seconds, so it's fine.
He backwards long jumps his way up the
I
stratosphere.
appreciated that they used PlayStation VR. Like, if I had to just cobble something together, I would start with like the cheapest consumer product available.
You
At the time was the
I immediately took me out of the movie. I don't
you know,
Imagine if imagine if they showed like the metaverse in this.
Oh my
It's okay, Ultraman. If we all die, we get into the metaverse. We'll live there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
The final.
so it works. It goes off
Jurassic
with that
Trip
hitch.
sequence.
Ultraman is now trapped in like a quantum zone for some reason.
In a quantum mania, if you will. He's trapped in there.
Quantumania for some reason, because it was like a black hole bomb from Die Buster, and it fucking blew up.
I love the scene of him trying to fly it away from the black hole. Is so great
This
because
is
he looks
the
like
coolest part of the movie because he's like,
he looks the most
love it.
toy-like when he does that.
Ano has, like, punch,
You know what I was thinking
and
of?
he does, like,
You know what I was thinking of? Like the fact that like every other like movie would just make him like appear like he's like stretching from like the black hole, but no, they really make it look like a toy,
It's
which endears me to it.
It
way
is
more.
very-
the coolest visually. Like, I was hoping the whole movie would do stuff like this.
It kind of reminded me of the design sensibilities of David Lynch, the way he likes to animate otherworldly things.
Okay, I have like a few minutes left before I have to go. Yeah, and then Zophie shows up, and he's like, "You like humans a lot," and he's like, "Yeah, I really do." He's like, "All right, you can go back to humans or something."
then isn't it that like Ultraman is technically like injured or something, and they need to take him back to the land of light. And Ultraman's like, oh, but what about Shin Hayata? Well, he's not called Shin Hayata in this movie.
It's Shinji.
What about
I believe.
What about Shinji? He's like dead. I need to go back, and he's all like, well, like, oh, you can't do that. It's like, okay, well, can I just sacrifice myself so he comes back? Which is what happens in the original ending of Ultraman. Is that Ultraman, after the fight with Zeton, he's like gravely injured. He's got to return back to the land of life, and Zophie shows up in the last like 3 minutes of the show. And he tells him, "You gotta bring him back." And then they give Shin Hayata his life back. But in the show, and they don't do this in the movie. They like maybe it's implied, maybe I missed it. But in the show, what happens is that when Shin Hayata wakes up, he has lost all his memory of being Ultraman. Like the past fucking year that he's been Ultraman, he does not remember it. And I don't know if
this movie just ends at him waking up and it's over, and it's like, okay. All right.
I guess it was all a dream, or
Poetically sure.
Something that bothered me about that scene is that is the part where he says, "Oh, your acceptance of death was same as a lust for life," and I'm like, "What?"
that's interesting.
Yeah, they try to do like some Evangelion-esque psychobabble while they're like going back and forth.
Yeah.
I think,
and then the
Humans create.
whole thing
but
is
they
like,
also
yeah,
destroy.
humans based, humans cool.
Humans cool. They might not be cool all the time, but
they
sometimes
can be
though.
cool at base sometimes.
Yeah.
I think but for what we got, really like the movie. Favorite superhero movie of this year, even though it came out last year.
Yeah.
I saw Quantum Mania and I was like, this sucks. I like
the
how
first half a lot. That's all.
I like how in Shin Ultraman they could do the weird things and no one has to like look at the camera and be like, that's silly.
Wasn't that weird?
Whoa, wasn't that weird? Whoa, that's so funny. Haha.
Doggy, what now?
What will Steve
I liked
Jobs
all the
come up
scenes
with
where
next?
I liked all the scenes where Asami like slapped her butt and was like, "Let's get to work."
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I've been waiting to fucking bring that up. I haven't had a good like in for that.
Nice. There's no butt slapping in Ant-Man Quantumania. I'll tell you that.
It's sexless. It's disgusting.
Sexless.
Get out of my fucking face.
I don't know if it was
All the time I'm watching Quantumania.
There's one of the actresses looks like a rodent, and it's cool.
You think she looks like a rodent? I think that's mean. I think she looks
this
like
is
a
term of
beautiful.
endearment.
Well, yeah, she loves rodents, so it's a compliment.
It is a compliment. And that's it for me.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
All right.
She's got to go to ultra space.
She's got to go. Her planet needs her. Okay, well, before you go, let's think real quick.
Oh wait, we're
Yeah.
gonna end the episode?
Well, I want to talk a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
you don't need me to sync. You just need Julian to sync with the rest of you.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye. There she goes. There she goes. She's flying away.
She's banished.
Flying away.
Whoa!
There she
Whoa!
goes.
I don't know.
I'm pointing at.
Whoa, she's going into the black hole. Oh, she sacrificed herself. Damn. Damn.
She's just like
Did the
she's
frame
like
perfect.
I guess
she's like Shadow the Hedgehog.
I guess she truly was Shin's Sporktown heroine.
Yeah.
Someone should have said that at the end of the movie. Damn, he truly was Shin Ultraman. Excellent. Is there anything else you wanted to say about the movie, Julian? Because you came in late.
No, not really. I forget who it was, but they pointed out that the movie really likes close-up shots of faces, and that was something that I enjoyed.
Yeah, I did. It's very like anime.
Yeah.
They fucking love doing that.
D.
That bit where she was like eating chips out of the bag, I was like, "Oh, hi, mommy, I'm your chip baby."
Mommy. Mommy.
I'm your little snack baby.
There
mommy.
is
love
a part
the-
where Ultraman as Shinji takes a sip of coffee and he like immediately looks down as if he like spilled some, but he didn't. I thought that was weird. I can't stop thinking about it.
No, that's awesome. That's relatable. You know.
Oh my god.
It's like, oh,
Do you,
God, I fuck
how
up.
do you guys feel? Do you think agreed with me when I said that? Shin Gojira was better than this one, but Shin Ultraman wasn't bad.
I think I agree.
1,000,000,000,000%. I can't even compare
I
this.
kind of like
Yeah,
them
which is-
equally,
Like-
but that might just be me being a centrist.
I like Shin Ultraman. I liked it a lot more than. I mean, that's why I keep comparing it to Ant-Man Quantumania, because that's like the last two movies I saw.
Quantum lame.
Quantum Lamia, right? And mostly
For me, like
yeah,
Shin Godzilla or Shin Gojira or whatever was like a movie that really had like a lot to say.
Yeah.
Like, there was
Yeah.
like a lot behind it. It wasn't just like, oh my god, my love for Godzilla is so strong. It was like, we're gonna take advantage of a very specific type of like political state that Japan is
Mhm.
in,
Yeah.
and we're gonna basically reuse the metaphor of Gojira in like a whole totally new way, and I thought it was like brilliant. And then Shin Ultraman was like a funny
I think-
cartoon, like where like, the action.
Yeah.
This is kind of just his victory lap. Like, yeah, I've already proven myself. Just bask.
I'm
in
just
this,
hoping
please.
that this isn't. To be honest, and this might be just like my fucking tokusatsu consumer brain mentality. I feel like I'm gonna like Shin Kamen Rider, even if it's like slightly worse than like Shin Ultraman. I feel like I'll still like it anyway.
Oh well, yeah. This is still like a really fun movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, this is by far like
Mhm.
better than anything in the MCU of late.
I feel like I've gotten more out of these movies than any MCU movie as of late.
How hell yeah.
Yeah.
Brief side note.
I saw it with my best friend. He's also a huge Ultraman fan. We had a great time.
What are you saying, Julian?
I just wanted to say, brief side note before we continue. For anyone listening, if you're a porn artist and you plan on doing a porn parody of a Quantumania, title it the Ant-Man Enters the Quantum Labia. Yeah, it'll kill.
Very good. Very good.
Nice.
MODOK gives big head.
That one like a jelly monster in Quantumania that was obsessed with having holes. Like after he gets the holes in the porn parody, they fuck the
Yeah.
holes. They're like, I have holes now, and then they start putting their little dicks in.
I have holes.
Can I just do one edit to the title? I would say Ant-Man Enters the Krusty Labia. That's really good.
I have holes.
He's like, Cassie, I need to enter the crusty labia. Kang's in there, and I need to stop him before he uses the labia's power.
He's like, I'm your fucking daughter.
Damn, could you imagine MODOK sucking you off? Just
yeah, that's a huge mouth. He could suck off like 5,
Yeah.
maybe 10 dicks.
Yeah,
It'd be like my whole,
it'd be
it'd be like my whole lower torso.
Yeah.
we could all like stand in a line together and get
Holding
group
hands.
sucked off.
Get a doc
Did
job.
you say there's a scene where someone says, "Who's coming?" and then King says, "Me, I'm coming."
Yeah, he does say that he's coming, and then he makes a weird.
I don't remember
He
that.
makes a weird noise. He goes, "Ugh," and then Janet's like, "What? What was that?" And Kang's like, "What was what? What are you talking about? I didn't do anything." Anyway, yeah, I'm excited. Shin Kamen Rider, excited. It looks pretty good. It's got to be better than the other Kamen Rider movies. We should watch those. We should actually watch them.
We should.
I have no exposure to Kamen Rider.
Oh man, those movies are awful, Jim. Those movies are not good.
Yeah, it is
I'd rather
a lot
watch
of
something
that.
good.
It's more hisses. It's more I can't say it's more misses than hits for some reason.
Yeah,
My love for Kamen Rider prevents me.
I've been very tempted to start like kind of another podcast series where I go through like very crucial episodes of Kamen Rider, mostly as an effort to like document, to get a lot of information for my eventual fanfic comic, Kamen Rider Grand Design, and it was going to be a lot of like going through like, oh, this is crucial moments that connect like the expanding franchise all together. And I actually wanted to do that comic before Shin Kamen Rider would come out, but it's probably not going to happen because I don't know how I'm going to be able to make any money off something that directly has the word Kamen Rider in it without like getting a cease and desist, which probably won't be possible. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
You could give it a like really goofy, over the top alternative name, like masked motorcyclist from another dimension.
Yo, remember when we were watching that fucking it was the 90s Kamen Rider.
Oh, Beetleborgs.
With Furbus.
It was like
With Furbus.
with Furbus.
Furbus,
Fucking
yeah. Fucking Furbus. Love Furbus. Jim, do you know about Furbus?
Jim,
No.
you need to learn about Furbus. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I think you'll love Furbus. I think he might be your new obsession, if you will. Furbus might be like I'm.
Show me.
You know what's crazy?
might
is he
bring him to me.
You might ken
he
him.
debuted before Furbies. So
You might ken Furbus, so I'd be careful.
Show him to me.
Yeah, I'm looking
Show-
him up.
show me
I'm
him.
looking him up right now.
here you go. Here's Furbus.
This thing fucking sucks.
You don't understand.
Wait, that's
This is
Furbus.
character integral to Kamen Rider lore. You have to be all about this guy.
Yeah, he's
Oh my God.
he's a more funnier character than they had before.
He's I love the English the Saban adaptation of Kamen Rider. They just all live in like this like multiracial like family, and then Furbus is just there.
Yeah, well, you want the Furbus figure? They thought, yeah, this was gonna be the one. Oh wait, I found a funny. Okay, check out this screenshot. This screenshot's awesome. You should play this at the intro of the podcast and introduce it first.
Yes.
Purpose is the yeah.
That's like what's that one thing that Chill said? If I saw that thing, I would hit it until it was a small brown stain.
Yeah, I'd step on it too. Small brown stain on the ground.
Yes, a small brown stain on there.
Purpose could be the secret like 6th member of Unofficial Tokucast.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So yeah, that's what do you say? We're at the end of this crossover.
Why? It's kind of hard to top Fergus.
It's just kind of hard to top. It's kind of hard to top him because he's so small. It'd be kind of tough.
I feel dirty these days.
But yeah, this is we're at the end of main character syndrome, Unofficial Tokucast crossover episode. My name is Cheesymanfredo. Sporktown Heroine was here, but she had to leave because she got to go hang out with her real friends. Not us though, not us.
Fringe.
Who are you guys? Where can people find you guys? Whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first. You can find me at King Protus on Twitter. I also do a podcast called Joe Kakaka, where I talk about JoJo and other anime. Check it out.
JoJolian is happening, and Jim over here is covering it.
No, it's JoJo Lands.
It's JoJo
That's what I
Lands.
said. I said JoJo Lands.
As JoJo Lion
You're
You said get a
you're JoJo lying to me.
Dude, why don't you get a rowboat? You know what? Why don't you fucking
Why don't you get a rowboat?
sucks.
Where can people find you, Julian?
Yes, I'm Julian. Julian, my Julian, mostly everywhere on the internet. If you are so inclined, go to my website at vqcd.in because I don't want to force you to follow me on a social media account. I'm ornery like that.
Nice. What about you, Kazoo?
All right, Kazoo Chuchu, every social media platform under the sun, Kazoo Chuchu. Art, eventually the comics sometime this year. Follow me, but I'm forcing you guys. Fucking follow me.
Follow this
Do it.
man. Bully this man
You
so he
little
fucking makes art.
gimps.
Makes art for
You
once.
fucking freaks.
Do it. I command you.
Oh.
All right, cool. And with that, thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's